I always forget to do this. I always forget. I always forget to check and make sure that OBS Studio is connected to the proper mic and headset before I start streaming. I always forget to do that. I don't know why I always forget to do that, but I do. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, we're gonna play some more Seduce Me Otome. I got my Spider-Man and I got my headset and we is all ready to go. So let's continue. Now I did play through this game before, but I'm doing it again because I did not get my boys and I was very upset about that. Michaela, that was sneaky and not okay. I thought, oh, well, if I can't get my boys, maybe I can get this hot chick. And it was like, nope, sorry. And I was like, why? But why? Because I wanted my boys back and it wouldn't give me my boys back. So now we're back and we're trying to get our boys this time. So yeah. And if that doesn't work out, then I'll see if doing stuff differently results in a different ending or if it'll result in the same ending. I'm not entirely certain. We'll see. Anyways. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Basically, what's just happened is she's just kind of remembered something from her past and how she was always alone, and after meeting her grandfather, things just kind of seemed different. Megan! Megan! Michaela's in the middle of a stream, Megan! Megan! Megan, I see that! I have the stream up on my... Megan! Megan! I thought I told you guys, Chris is busy. These people are busy. These people... Megan... Michaela Laws is currently in the middle of a stream, so yeah, Mickey's streaming. Michaela's streaming right now. I saw what you did. Thank you. I saw what you did. You're so nice. It's okay. It's okay. Michaela's streaming, so she probably won't see the tweet, hopefully. Hopefully, I don't want her to get interrupted while she's streaming. That would be bad. Ooh. But she probably won't see it. But anyways, I love you too, Megan. You're the best. Let's continue the game. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them. Though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. I mean, I don't think it's a living arrangement anyone would have imagined. No, you the best. Don't even, okay? You the best. You the best. I pulled a you earlier, which means you are the best. Not me, you. You the best, Megan. Megan the best, everyone. Megan. Just so you know, everyone watching, Megan the best. If you don't already know that, you should know that. Megan the best. There was the matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats make my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of a harem or something. Oh, God. Imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would have them arrested on the spot. Ugh, this was hard. Maybe I should have written out a pros and cons list before actually having to make the decision. You did. You just pulled a you, 'cause you's amazing, Megan. It was strange that I happen to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the same exact situation that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help. As weird as that sounded. No, it doesn't sound weird at all. They're a bunch of cute boys, and you want to help them, because they's lost and lonely and stuffs. You know, it's nice. You's a good person. It's okay. It's not weird. You's okay. Why is it weird to be happy that you're helping someone? It's not weird. It should be perfectly normal. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could...
What was that, lovely lady?
Eric, stop. Golly, Chris did too good. Chris did too good. Really, he did too good. Like, just, oh, God, Eric, oh, God, oh. Shot through the heart. Straight through the heart. Good golly. I'm saving him for last. If I can have him, I'm saving him for last. He's the last one I'm gonna get. I love him. I love him so much. And I think it's because he makes me giggle because I'm not used to being flirted with like that. And so, like, even though he's not actually flirting with me, the person, because he's flirting with my character in the game, and I am not used to that kind of flirtatious speak in games, it just, like, it makes me giggle. It makes me all giddy. Plus, it's Chris, okay? It's Chris. It's Chris. He's amazing, and, I love him, and, he deserves all the loves, and he just does a really good job at everything he does. So yeah. That is,
Spit it out already.
Shut up, Sam. I literally, my friends were like, the last time one of my friends watched me stream this game, that literally became a hashtag, was hashtag shut up Sam, because that's what I say pretty much every time Sam opens his mouth, even though I love him. I love you, angry boy. You's angry boy. I love you. I still love you, Sam. But that's really what you want to say to him most of the time that he opens his mouth, is just shut up, Sam. You could stay with me here, if you'd like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guest that comes over. Well, save for enemies. But you get the drift. Hi, Naya. What you doing? She just opened my door. Sorry, my doggo just decided to open my door while I was doing stuffs. My doggo. Hi, Naya. You know you're still in trouble for what you did last night. She did a bad thing. She marked my mom's bed as her territory, and she's kind of grounded from her room. Hold on a sec. No, Naya, get out of there. I don't think Mama wants you in here right now because you were bad and you peed all over her bed last night. Yeah, we were, my dog Takani was in there, and we were kind of pulling out some staples. Well, not really. Like we were just. Takani was in there. We were taking care of Takani, and Naya comes in after we have finished taking care of Takani, and decides to pee on my mom's bed and mark her territory. Not cool. Hey, Galaxy, I am good today. I made one of my friends cry because I invited the senpais and the senpais were able to come, so I felt good because I was like, I'm going to invite the senpais to their stream, and some of the senpais came because they had the time, and my friend started crying, and it was awesome because he was so happy, and I start this stream, and now suddenly my blanket cape is like, I don't need it anymore. But anyways, yeah, today was awesome. So yeah. It's awesome. That's good. My puppers leave. My puppers never come in my room the second they know I have the camera out when I'm streaming, and they run away. Because my puppies don't like the camera for some reason. My puppies just run away. They're like, yo, we pulled out a camera. We done. No paparazzi. They say, no paparazzi. That's what they say. I did. I had a fun day. Anyways. Yeah, I said this. Yes. Yes, it is reasonable, Damien. Thank you. Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big. So, yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
Excuse me, you four cute boys. Very cute boys, I might add. And, yes, it's okay. You need help. I help you. I love you. I help you. It's alright, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and try to keep the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
Oh, stop it, Eric. Sexy boy is sexy boy, and he makes me happy. Eric, make me happy. Eric is my favorite, but that's because it's Chris, and I'm a little biased. You're having a really fun week at school now? Well, that's good. I'm glad you're having fun at school. Or is that sarcastic? Are you having bad week? If you was having bad week, sad day, I give you loves. I give you wolf song loves. Wolf song loves. Wolfie loves. I love all my pups. You guys are all my pups. All my subscribers. My pups. I love you guys. Love you, loves, if you're having a bad day. I'd hug you, but that's kind of hard to do over the internet without it being awkward. But yeah, loves. Eric's my favorite, but again, like I said, I'm biased because it's Chris, and also because Eric is all like flirty, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so flirty, and I'm not used to this kind of interaction, and it just makes me giggle, and it makes me giddy, and so it's like, Chris, number one, I recognize Chris's voice, and I love Chris, so it's like, there's that. And then number two is just like Eric's character himself is just not a character I'm used to interacting with in games, and so it just makes me all giddy. Plus, it kind of reminds me of Cat and Warren. Yes, I watched that. Yes, I do enjoy that. You know what? It's a good show, so don't judge me. Oh, yay, that's nice. I'm glad you're getting to go on a trip. That's nice. I like trips. Trips are fun. Especially trips to the ocean. The ocean is the best. I don't like lakes as much as I like the ocean. Even though the ocean has sharks, lakes are boring. You can't see anything in them. They're just like, ugh. And they stink. They stinky too. It's on Thursday? Well, don't worry. It'll be Thursday before you know it.
What? Are you serious?
Shut up, Sam. Hashtag shut up, Sam. That's pretty sure that's how everyone feels about Sam. Hashtag shut up, Sam. That's just... I am saving him for like second to last, I think. I love Damien because he is shy boy and also sweet boy. And then I also love Matthew as well because he's adorable boy. Like super cute adorableness. Like seriously, like just adorable. Legit. But yes, hashtag set up Sam. But I think out of all of them, I think the way I'll do it is if I can get a boy, I go smart boy first, Probably adorable boy second, and then I'll go shy boy next, then angry boy, which is Sam, and then sexy boy, which is Eric, because Eric is always flirting with you.
Be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seem to like the idea, except for Sam. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. Meaning, hello, me alone with 5 hot boys? Yes, please. Although I gotta admit, James is probably the one I find the least attractive, but that's because he keeps correcting people, and I'm like, smart boy, you're so sweet, and then you correct people. Stop. I realize you as a smart boy, but why? Why, smart boy? Why do you have to ruin everything by saying those things? It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they would follow the rules that I had just laid down.
Fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
Okay, Sam, whatever you say. Why do you think I'm going after James first? I'm like, okay, if I can have my character in the game have a relationship with Sam first, that's what I'm gonna do, because I want to save the better boys for last, and then I don't have to deal with Sam being annoying.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. You need a bedfellow.
Eric! Good God. Eric gets me every single time. Eric gets me every single time because it's Chris, so I'm like fangirling about that, but then it's also flirty Eric, and so I'm fangirling over Eric because Eric is flirting, and it's also Chris, so it's like never ending fangirl also getting flirted with by character. I can't stop it. You stop it. God.
Eric, knock it off.
And then James is always James to the rescue. James to the rescue. I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in. Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with the food on the table. I noticed James's eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Ah, Eric, you's right, but I'm going for smart boy this time, so I will contain the laughter.
Still, it's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. But I did, because I'm going for smart boy, and I feel like that's what smart boy would want. Okay, that symbol in the corner means something, and I think it means that I'm doing the right choice for smart boy. Pretty sure. I merely smiled before I took some food for myself. There was one piece of food that intrigued me, and it was barely touched by the boys. It looked like green pasta with shrimp over it. Ooh, shrimp, I love shrimp. Shrimp is tasty. Huh? What's this?
This is a shrimp pesto dish. Pastas are my specialty, so I'm positive you'll enjoy it.
This is perfect! I twirled some around my fork and tried it. I could feel my senses open as my taste buds practically melted in delight at the taste. It was creamy and savory, almost impossible to describe. That sounds so good. Seriously, that sounds delicious. I love shrimp. You guys don't even know how much I love shrimp. Shrimp is delicious. I love seafood and lots of food, but I love fish and shrimp. I like I just love the ocean, okay? And then like shrimp, and then like fish, and yeah. Seafood! This is amazing!
I'm glad you like it. At least someone here in the room has taste.
Ooh, burn! Hey, Keon, what's up? Matthew and Sam glared at James before they continued to eat. I couldn't help but smile at the brotherly quarrel before eating the rest of the pasta on my plate. James seemed to really hold high standards for his brother, though it wasn't my place to question why. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like a part of their family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed. Huh? It's my mom. Excuse me. I just love this ringtone. I want this to be my actual ringtone. I wonder if I can actually get this as my actual ringtone. I betcha I could. I'm gonna look it up. And it's gonna be my new ringtone for like everything except for people I know. Legit. This is good music. It's Chris. It's Chris's music. Chris made the music for this. Well, I don't know if he made all the music for it, but I'm pretty sure he did. And, you know, it's like, come on. He's got good stuff. Did my camera crap out again, or is it just the stream? Nope. It's the stream. It's the stream. Okay. Hello?
Hey, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
I gotta look up this voice actress. I forgot to do it before looking at this because I recognize her voice. I just can't figure it out. Hi, Mom. Everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Oh, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all.
A house party? Tomorrow night? So soon?
Your father insists. You know how he is with plans.
I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long, relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on the drop of a dime, from moving immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house to now organizing a party. I know. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, there's no need to help. I have work, and you know his father.
Yes, we don't like her father. He's a jerk, and we hate him, and we wish he would go away. Because he's just... ugh. But at the same time, later on in the story, you find stuff out, and then you feel bad. Ugh. I know. I have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it will be amazing, honey. Have faith in me.
Thanks, Mom. You're the only one who really has faith in me.
All right, I gotta go. I love you too.
I love you too, Mom. Great. Now how am I going to do this?
Is something wrong?
Stop saying it like that. Why has he gotta say it like that? Everything he says sounds flirty unless he's talking to one of his brothers. God! I mean, that's the character, but still.
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
Oh, shy boy, why you gotta read my mind? Huh? How did you... Oh, right. Mind reading. But yeah, I gotta do it soon or my parents will be really disappointed. I'll have to stay up and organize everything tonight.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
3, 2, 1. I'm pretty sure Sam complains next. Oh no, James does. James says something and then comes the Sam meltdown.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
Shut up, Sam. Shut up, Sam. Just shut up, okay?
Back off. We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
You know you can't win. You can't win against Big Brother. That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer to help right off the bat. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful now that I let them stay. Now I didn't have to do everything alone. As I kept thinking about it, I couldn't help but yawn. Don't call me princess. It's Eric. I love you, Eric. Yeah, it's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend, so I can sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait! Where are all you going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Oh, got it. All right then. I'm heading to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see you all tomorrow? He has to say it like that. Why does he have to say it like that? Stop saying it. Stupid. Good golly. I will. You too. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room. Look at the smug look on his face. Just look at it. Would you like, just look at that. He's like, He's got something planned and you know it. I just love that face. Yes, you were. That's the face of a guilty man. See? Mind reader. I love it. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. That's pretty much how sibling relationships work, too. It's like, if you are an only child, you don't even understand. Like, that is how siblings are. It's like, one of them knows, and they start sassing, and then the other one's like, shh, shut up, stop it, shh, just shoot. So, yeah. As soon as I got into my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from that nap. I dragged myself to my bed and hauled up one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed my economics book, knowing that no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the page scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after about 2 or 3 tries, I managed to understand what the page was about. Equations. Ugh. Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today had been a long day, and I needed the rest. Hopefully, tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me. With that in my mind, I drifted to sleep, embracing the darkness of slumber.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Save that to the end of my pistol.
Huh? What's going on? I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up, and I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me. Yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming at me from all directions.
One move and she gets it.
Let her go!
Matthew?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Like you scare me, Sam. Come on.
Why can't I see?
Stay away from her, Malix. And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
No, he's not nerd boy, he's smart boy. Get it right, Malix. Gosh! Suddenly, I felt myself pulled to one side, and arms wrapped around my body protectively. I guess that dream is the same no matter what you do, so, interesting. Huh? Eric? As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of the dream before had faded into the black as the arms around me rocked me comfortingly. Don't tell me the stream died. Did the stream die? Please tell me it didn't die. Well, Sebastian saw my tweet. Yay! Senpai saw it. Did the stream die? Is you dead? Is you dead, stream? Is it good? Are we good? It's good? Okay, it's good. I just gotta make sure, because my technology likes to frizz out on me at certain points in time sometimes, and like, I have no clue sometimes, because no one says anything, they just leave. And I'm like, hello? Is it dead? Why are people leaving? Suddenly people will be gone, you know. What? Because now on my end, it's showing that I'm fine. Rawr! Are you sure? Keon! You can— You are no help, sir. I'm gonna continue the story now. You're no help. Slowly, though, my eyes fluttered open, and I looked up at the person holding me. Damien! I stared into the eyes of Damien. His face was painted with worry and concern, and I knew he must have seen my dream. Why did I dream of Eric holding me, though? 'Cause it's Eric and we love him. Okay, I'm glad I'm good. That's good. I don't want people leaving because I'm not doing good. I know my streams are not the best. It's because I have a potato computer, and I love my potato computer, okay? I take very good care of it, except I accidentally flung it out of my backpack earlier, but we don't speak of that. It was an accident. The battery popped out, and it was bad. But I love this laptop because it's the only laptop I have. So I do need to get a better one, but this will always be my baby. Oh, well, I guess you're right. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. What time is it?
It's 9 a.m. James and I were making breakfast when
You can't control your mind reading?
not yet at least. I hope to learn eventually, though.
Is everything alright?
It is now. Huh? Yeah, I'm alright.
That's good. I'm assuming you had a nightmare.
Yes, I'm sorry for disturbing you both.
You didn't disturb us, miss. Besides, we'd rather make sure you're okay before anything.
See, these are the kinds of this is the stuff that makes me like the smart boy, but then smart boy does stuff like correct people, and then I'm like, smart boy, why? You ruined it. Oh, thank you.
Now, why don't you come downstairs with us and have some breakfast? I'm sure some nice food will take your mind off of what you dreamt of.
It was embarrassing to be the damsel in distress once again, but I felt rather happy that James and Damien were concerned for me, despite only knowing me for a short time. I wasn't sure if it was just courtesy or if they were genuinely concerned. I couldn't exactly read their minds. All right. The two boys led me back to the dining room, where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. The smell wafted from the kitchen and made its way into the room, making my stomach growl in need. Hi, Varian! Breakfast smells good.
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
I nodded before sitting down. As I sat down, however, my mind drifted back to the dream I had. That feeling of hostility around me made— Ah! I did it again. I clicked on accident. Oh well. However, as my eyes closed, I felt a hand place itself on top of my head, breaking me out of my thoughts. It's Eric. Huh?
Morning. You alright?
Oh no, right, that's Sam. I forgot. It surprised me. I thought it was Eric because Eric's like the touchy-feely type, but it's actually Sam. And this is the time that he's like actually a sweet boy, and I'm just like, thank you for being a sweet boy for once. And then he's just like, back to being angry boy. Yeah, I'm fine. Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised an eyebrow at me before rustling my hair and moving away to sit down at the table. He then barked towards the kitchen where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
Here he goes, angry boy.
There's no need to yell, Sam.
Now you're yelling, James.
You're yelling too!
No, I am not in a VC. Cause I wasn't planning a VC, cause I was just planning a stream here. And the face and stuff. But if you wanna open a VC, I guess we could, but I'm not sure if that'll work very well with it being a visual novel and stuff. But then again, doesn't Michaela do that occasionally? I don't know how Michaela does her streams. I don't think I've ever watched her stream one of the visual novels, but she does stream stuff that has voice acting in it. So, I suppose it could work. I'm not sure if I closed Discord though, because I think Discord... Oh, there it goes. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's try it. And if my computer... Okay, yeah, just give me a call. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. Oh, here.
Hi!
Ow! Ooh! Ow! Ooh! Hold on. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Nope, that's me. That's
Nope.
me. My bad.
I think that might be... Are you sure? Because I think I have you... No, I have you turned up really loud.
Okay, well.
Oh, wait. No, it is you.
Oh,
Because I am turning you
Yeah.
down and it's not working.
okay. Is it better?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, that was loud. Ouch.
Okay, wait. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
It
gonna turn
happens.
it down a little more.
Okay.
I suppose should it? Because I had a friend recently who was like, "I can't hear you," and I was like, "Oh, I already have it turned
Yeah.
up to the max. I don't want to boost it." I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Okay, I think it's a little better.
Maybe it could also be that I had mine up loud because voice actings and stuff. Hi, Keon.
Okay, yeah. I get you. Okay. I will. Actually, you know, what, I'll just stay at this level.
Yeah, we'll see. And if I need, yeah.
Is all the dialogue voice acted already?
Well, pretty much
All of it?
everything except
Okay, well,
for
I'm gonna just.
yeah, pretty much
except for
everything
the-
except for the parts that I read, which is the parts that your character does. Basically, the you in the story.
Okay, well,
So,
I'm gonna just sit here and jaw.
okay. From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in obvious annoyance. Yeah, the boys are so quiet. Castle?
And
Yeah, sorry.
I can't really hear them at all. Oh,
I
it's
know,
okay,
I
whatever.
could, but you're so, like, still so loud. Let me try turning you down again. Okay, let me see my user settings, and I'll, wait, that's the microphone. Okay, let's see. That might be better. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. I am trying. I know he's a bit loud. I'm trying to fix that. I also had my headphones turned up. I also had my thing turned up because there were times when I was listening to people or like talking to people and they were quiet, and so wow, there's 6 people in this stream. What is going on? This never happens when I'm streaming anymore. Hi people, thank you for joining. You were a bit loud, but I've turned you down now, so it should be good.
Oh, okay. Can I? You know what? Never mind.
Wait, what? What? What?
Are your ears not bleeding? Are your ears not bleeding because I was gonna turn myself back up.
I mean, maybe you shouldn't turn yourself back up just in case, because I can
I'm at
control.
50 right now. I'm at 50, so.
Yeah, I'd say keep it at 50, because I can turn you up if I have to, but
Yep.
I also have to have my sound on loud enough for the people watching to hear the boys, because the voice acting of the boys is amazing, especially Chris,
Just super
because I
quiet.
love Chris. And yes, it is super quiet because I have him turned all the way up in the game. It's just, you know, the sound editing is wonderful. Okay? Beautiful. It's all beautiful. It's all gorgeous, and I love it. I love it all. You tweeted the stream too, didn't you? You did! Yes, you did. You just did it. I saw it. You forget, I'm watching this stream on my tablet because I have to pay attention to this stuff. Wait, what do you mean?
Kagi.
No, he's not. I don't. What?
I don't think Kagi is in this.
No, he's not.
Cag.
Keon, stop messing with me. Unless for some reason I can't see it when he is. Because YouTube did that to me the other day. Because I went and I checked my stream the other day. And for some reason, the YouTube on my tablet was not showing me messages that he had sent. And apparently he had been sending he had sent a couple of messages, I think, in one of my streams. And I didn't see him until I checked the stream. Like I was checking the on my dashboard. I was checking it on my dashboard on YouTube, and all of a sudden I see these messages from him. I was like, I had no idea that person was even there. Because those messages did not show up. Oh, you meant in the game. Keon, you gotta be specific. Keon. My man.
No, I thought that was pretty. I mean, I thought that was clear. Maybe that's just.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna continue reading now.
Okay, I could try making that happen. I don't know.
No, you don't have to bother them. They're busy. Anyways.
You always say that, but I guess that's true.
I mean, Megan tweeted the other guys, so it's all good. It's all good. Megan tweeted some of this. I think she tweeted pretty much all the senpais, actually. Except hopefully not Chris, because I know he's at work, because he said he had to work for the rest of the day. And I'm pretty sure Chris and I are in the same-ish time zone. So...
She also, for some reason, like literally every tweet I have, like...
Because it's Megan, and she's supportive. And I love her. Megan's a beautiful person. Okay, I gotta get back to the game. I gotta stop talking to you.
Yeah.
Varen, people are leaving. I gotta get back to the game. Okay. For some reason, when I heard the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. These guys had a castle? Sam looked at me and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
Wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
I love it when Eric gets mad like that. It's so funny.
Whatever.
Soon, James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, and waffles. They placed the plates down by each seat before seating themselves.
Finally.
Thank you for the breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
All of a sudden, my phone began to ring, ushering me to pull it from my pocket and answer. Do, 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 do. Bye, Galaxy. Love you. Peace out. Have a good day at school tomorrow. Hello?
Hey, good morning. Guess who's at your door right now?
Dun, dun, da! Right on cue, there was a knock from the lobby door. My heart stopped. Suzu and Naomi were here.
I'll get it.
Matthew, why? My heart quickly began to pound in my chest. Matthew was in the lobby and he'd get to the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed out of the dining room. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and the lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the world to go into slow motion. Matthew, don't! But before my words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door and revealed the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. The world around me stopped as Suzu and Naomi kept their eyes on Matthew, who merely stared back in fear and embarrassment. I could feel the air go from warm to freezing in a matter of seconds. I could not believe this was happening. How was I going to explain this? This week was already bad enough. To make matters worse, I was frozen in place. Please, for God's sake, someone do something other than stand there. Awkward silence continues. Suzu, let me explain.
What's going on here?
Who's at the door, Matthew? Oh.
love the tone of that. Oh. It's just like, I don't know. It's like he could have like this, like, I just don't know how, I don't know how to feel about that. Oh. It's just like, it's really funny. Like, oh, interesting. It's so funny. I love it. Soon the other incubi appeared in the lobby with us. This situation was not getting pretty. I had to think fast. Last time I said they're visitors, and I feel like that's a good idea to do again. But, out of my sake of curiosity, I'm just gonna say this one. That was a terrible choice. That was a terrible choice. That was a terrible choice. Susie reached out and poked Matthew on the forehead, making him stare cross-eyed at her finger.
Hello to you too? Seems real to me. They're not imaginary.
It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. Then, I felt a hand on my shoulder and felt the tension in my body almost fade away. I turned my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me.
We must apologize, ladies. We know this situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
I stared at James wide-eyed. Was he going to tell them who they were? Everything seemed surreal. Before I knew it, I was led to the dining room along with Suzu and Naomi, and sat across from their confused gazes. As Naomi and Suzu sat down, Eric and Matthew placed their untouched plates of food in front of them, surprising their guests.
Whoa, this looks amazing. Thank you.
Our pleasure, ladies. We hope you enjoy your meal.
There are so many ships that I ship in this moment. Because I ship these two, but I've also just, these two just look good together for some reason, just standing next to each other. And also just like personality-wise, I felt like that this would be a good match, because I feel like he would really be able to sweet talk her, and I feel like she just really loved that.
Make sure you dig in.
And although these two, they'd be cute. I don't know why, because their personalities are so similar, or at least they'd be very good friends. I looked at Naomi and Suzu as they began to eat, visibly enjoying every bite they placed in their mouth. Hopefully the food would ease their minds for whatever James wanted to reveal. As Naomi and Suzu ate their impromptu meals, James and the other boys stood behind my chair, making me grow more red in the face.
So, Anderson, are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Well, you see, Gently, James placed a hand on my shoulder again, signaling me to just eat my food. As I began to eat, he spoke to Naomi and Suzu.
We are Miss Anderson's house servants. We were hired by her late grandfather to help around the mansion, but since he has passed, we now assist Miss Anderson with living on her own.
That makes sense. It's such a huge house.
A huge house for a wonderful princess such as Miss Anderson deserves the greatest of servants to care for.
Gosh, Eric, why you gotta be so sweet?
Why are you all dressed so casually and stuff? Aren't servants supposed to have uniforms or whatever?
Well, Miss Anderson allows us to get comfy while we work, so she lets us wear casual clothes.
Shut up, Sam. You're gonna blow the whole thing.
We're sorry if we made the situation awkward earlier.
And see, this is the other thing, as I also, for some reason, just like those two, I could see their personalities getting to just like, she would basically just like be really good with him, like just like, I don't know, I feel like she would really teach him some manners and stuff, and then like she would bring him out of his shell a lot. So it's just like, I just started making these just like combos in my head and like these ships, and I don't know why, it just happened. I was Kawaii-chan can't calm down. These ships are too adorable, okay? Now, don't bring out Kawaii-chan again, because it's too late for me to do that. She's really loud. God, I'd die if Moeka ever heard me do that.
We're very sure that Miss
I don't know,
Anderson
Megan
is
might
also
be
still being used to
about
having
that.
us as her servants.
We all know her.
Well, I'm planning on maybe someday doing my Kawaii-chan impersonation, like, on for the channel. So like singing, singing the cover of that shipping song that I usually sing as Kawaii-chan. No,
By the way, did you see that? Did you see that chain of tweets about like because
no,
Rocky posted
I did not see.
posted Jess found a new man and it was a birch stuff. And Jason was like, "You birch."
I did not see that, but I believe people were talking about it.
It's really
Cause I don't follow. I don't follow Rocky on Twitter.
he's a good artist.
He is a good artist. I just don't. I just don't. I don't know. Someday maybe. I don't know.
I'll have to post the link.
I know his Twitter. I know what his Twitter is. I don't. But you can send me the
Like the
picture or
chaos
like the
that
link to the picture or whatever. But
link to the tweet that he made.
yeah.
And the
Anyways,
chaos that
I gotta get back into it.
I guess.
I sent it to you.
Okay.
So, if I may ask, what brings you two ladies here?
Well, we wanted to see how our friend was doing. Since it's the weekend and all, usually we hang out and just chill. Yeah, like going to the arcade and stuff. Or the Pink Lady Cafe.
There's an arcade?
And that's why I ship Suzu and Matthew. Because that.
That makes a lot of sense, ladies. Well, we don't wish to disturb you any further than we have, so we'll take our leave and start preparing the house.
Huh? Preparing for what?
We gotta prep the house for some sort of housewarming party thing.
Our princess's parents requested a housewarming party to be held here soon.
And by soon, they mean tonight.
Oh, well, I guess we can help out or something. Right, Naomi? I thought you wanted to go to the arcade. This housewarming thing is more important.
No, Nina, we can handle it. If you'd like to, miss, you can go out with your friends while we handle things here.
Last time I picked to go out with friends, I'm gonna pick staying this time.
Seriously? Oh my god.
Shut up, Sam. Just stop, okay?
Sam, I don't know.
Yeah, listen to Davey.
Because you start saying stuff, whereas I start saying stuff, and then you usually shut up no matter what.
See, it's 'cause Sam says stuff, and I'm just like, shut up, Sam.
Well, that freaks me out even more.
I'm sorry, okay? But do you know what? You wanted to do the call, and I said okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Which reminds me, at some point I've got to set up like a stream voice chat somehow. Michaela does that for her thing, and I gotta start doing that in the Discord. Which, by the way, any of y'all who are watching right now, if y'all are not in my fan Discord, the link is in the description. Please go get on there, 'cause we have nobody on there. I keep forgetting to post the link in MMD videos, so that probably doesn't help. But nevertheless. Anyways, I'm gonna continue now. Well, I wanted to help out, but at the same time, I wanted to go out with my friends. James gave me a look of understanding, letting me know that if I left, everything would be okay. I had to make a decision. I want to stay.
Are you sure?
Yes, because I want to be with my boys. And last time I did not get to stay with my boys, and I love my boys, and I want my boys. I'm sure. Besides, it is my housewarming party. I should help out too.
Want us to help out as well?
I think we got it all taken care of. Thanks though, girls.
All right. We'll head on out then so we're not in the way.
Sorry guys. I'll hang out with you guys soon.
It's all good, Anderson. We'll definitely come to the housewarming party tonight.
Thank you. I led them back into the lobby and walked them to the doors, opening it for them with a thankful smile. They both gave me hugs before walking out to Naomi's car, which was parked in the driveway. And with that, they left. I was happy that they wanted to help, but I had to do this on my own. It was not their work, so I didn't want to force it on them just because they were my best friends. We had the entire day to work. The party tonight, and we had to do all. The party was tonight, and we had to do all we could to make everything right. We sat down and talked about what needed to happen before the party started that night. Each guy had been assigned a different part of the party to do, and right after lunch, we began to work. Since everything was taken care of by at least one incubus, James told me I could assist one of them. The question was, who? James, because Smart Boy is kind of my least favorite right now. Out of all the boys, he's still like, I love him, but he's still my least favorite because he says stuff that just like, Smart Boy, why, you know? James with the garden. James and I headed out to the garden. It had been years since I had been in that small field. The gazebo was smaller than I remembered, but I had grown since I had last seen it. James rolled up his sleeves and took a breath of air before sighing contently.
So, we need to cater to the plants and make sure there are no muddy spots on the grass. It may take a while. Are you sure you wish to help me and not the others?
I shook my head, rolling up my sleeves as well. I can handle it. I'd rather work outside anyway. Although for me, to be honest, I hate bugs. But for the sake of James, don't make fun of me, Varen. I'll kick you out of the stream.
No, that was just a little reference to another YouTuber. They seem fun like that.
Well, I don't know this YouTuber. I don't know this YouTuber with your
All the time.
spark.
Don't worry about me.
I have to worry about you. You're in the stream.
Doing my own thing.
Okay, well, bleh. I don't know. Psh, I gotta continue. James nodded with a smile before handing me a watering can, gesturing to the group of flowers by the side of the yard. I walked over and began to water the flowers. However, as silence took control of the air, I felt a need to start a conversation. You know what? I'm gonna ask him a question. So, do you like flowers? I wanted to smack myself. That was a terrible conversation starter. I mentally smacked myself before hearing James chuckle softly. I turned to look at him as he nodded.
They have a wonderful aesthetic. Many people would think the flowers are simple and rather boring, but I've learned secrets about flowers.
Secrets about flowers? What, like a special way to water them or something?
You could say that. There are right and wrong ways to water flowers.
Can you show me? James gave a small smirk before walking over and standing behind me. I instantly blushed as he brought his arms underneath mine, guiding my watering can. The water gently poured over the dirt, sinking into it and dissolving into the roots. However, my concentration on the water was broken by the sound of James's voice in my ear.
Flowers need to be cared for gently. They're fragile like that. There's plenty in their too little and they wither and fade apart. It's like caring for a plant.
Oh, smart boy, you is sweet. A loved one? For some reason, those 3 words echoed in my head. James continued to guide my watering can, using gentle hands to lead my arms and my body. It was almost like a dance. Eventually, he let go and then stepped away from me. I turned to him as he simply smiled at me before returning to his work. I felt my face with my hand, feeling the extreme warmth before shaking my head and continuing to water the remaining plants. The hour of the house party had arrived. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited his business partners and the executives of the Anderson Company to show me off. I'm gonna save it right now, just 'cause. And we're gonna continue. I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form as a million thoughts ran through my mind. It was just a housewarming party, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations. It was a chance for me to see my parents as a woman. It was my test to see if I was really ready to live on my own. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank. But even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me or my mom helping me through living alone. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. Who is it?
Hey, are you okay in there? Your parents should be here soon, so you should hurry getting ready.
Well, I'm ready, but...
What? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out.
All right. As soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi's and Suzu's faces turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares. I love this dress. It's so pretty. I love the dress that she put on her. It also kind of reminds me of like Michaela's little cartoon figure of herself, I guess. The dress, like the shirt that Michaela's cartoon figure of herself wears, but I just love that. It's so pretty.
That's what she was into.
Well, probably, but still, it's pretty. Okay? It's very pretty, and I love it. What?
Dude, you look hot. Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
I've had it for a while. I just never had the chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants. I like how they all have their own colors too, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, literally, they're pretty much color-coded. Like,
I know. Like,
Damien's got the regular clothes. Sam always has something green. James has something, you know, like yellow with his stuff. Eric always has the red, and then Matthew has the blue. It's cute. I like it. It's adorable.
Strawberry? No.
He can be a strawberry. Strawberries are sexy.
No.
Look, I call him sexy boy. I call him sexy boy. Strawberries I love.
That wasn't the response I expected, but okay.
I call him sexy boy because he flirts with everyone. So he's sexy boy.
I feel like you're missing a few letters to that, but okay.
Just shush.
Whoa, they really know how to dress well, don't they?
Yeah. I was slightly taken aback on how great the boys looked in uniform. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman. Even Sam. I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. The boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts. As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down that final step, smiling.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Thank you.
So, are you prepared for tonight?
The avocado?
I didn't feel confident at all. Something about tonight frightened me. I couldn't tell if it was the fear of my dad or of the guests that Dad surely invited, but something about tonight's party left me beyond nervous. The other boys smiled assuringly at me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang. I gulped. I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door. Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents, both dressed in their best. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad, who I hate. But also can't hate because of stuff I found out later on in the game.
Oh my. I didn't know your replacement
No,
was
they're
seven.
snobby.
The mom's not so bad, it's the dad I have a problem with.
It was probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys? They didn't ask for verification or anything? I looked at the boys and noticed Sam. I don't know what happened there. I looked at the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them? They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with this otherwise. My mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple of days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit.
Gorgeous. You look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right.
I looked to my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look like you're all grown up.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded in my chest. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words. I clicked forward again. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume that you're ready then to impress the rest of the guests, correct?
What do you mean?
The entire board from Anderson Toys is coming tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming. All of them will be measuring your potential.
My potential?
To become CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. I gulped silently, but I nodded in response. I looked to the incubi, but they were continuing to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it. As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests. Men and women in formal or business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night. I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on the professional face my dad had trained me to have. I felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and handshake. Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
So, how do you feel living on your own at such a young age?
I'm so sorry about your grandfather passing away. It really hit all of us hard.
Do you have college plans? Do you have college plans?
I feel like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't about me. They were about the company.
What do you think will happen with the company now that your grandfather has passed?
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
Do you think the company should expand from just toys?
Eventually, the questions stopped, and I was back to being by myself. Naomi and Suzu were mingling in the crowds, and the incubi were doing their jobs, so I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mom pushed her way through the crowd to me, bringing along someone I didn't know.
Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lewis. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Anderson.
I'm gonna nod to him this time. Andrew was slightly taken aback, but gently smiled and lowered his hand with a nod in return. My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew?
You organized this party very well, Miss Anderson.
Yes.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to cover his laugh properly before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a little forward. I've just been excited to meet Harold Anderson's granddaughter.
Huh? Why?
He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all of the stories. You helped a lot with the success of the company without having to actually work there.
He's a sweet boy, but again, I'm going for smart boy this time. Oh wow, I didn't know he talked about me. That would explain everyone's fascination with me and their rather personal questions. I looked to Andrew, who had a kind face to me. Something about him seemed off, and I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it was good or bad, I was not able to find out. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly. Whether it was fear or insult, Andrew locked eyes with my father. I couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
You're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company.
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO? I thought the vice chairman wanted the position.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boys' conversations.
See, the mom's the good guy in that couple. Oh, and I feel bad because I just talked over voice acting. Ah, okay. I thought I skipped something again.
Of course not, sir.
And polite as well. Interesting.
Please excuse me.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family and into the crowd of people. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but I gave him his space. He obviously needed it. You know what? Shut up, you!
That's because you practically interrogated the young man.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he'd lecture me in front of everyone. That was not something I wanted at my housewarming party. I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning that the party was going to end soon. I lowered my gaze out the window and saw a limo pull up. Huh? Whose limo is that?
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
Ugh, don't leave me with the dad. Yes, Mom. My mother left my dad and me to slowly escort the guests out. My dad held his simple smile as he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the doors before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What? I wonder how differently this scene would go if I had answered everything wrong. Next time I think I might try that. Oh. Thank you, Dad.
Keep it up and you'll be a good CEO.
I don't want to be a CEO. Oh. Right.
Alright, your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Susan will be leaving as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
Yada yada yada. Oh. Right.
Thanks for having us. It was a great party. We'll come visit tomorrow or something. Alright?
Please. Please, friendos. I love you. I don't love my parents. Right. See ya.
Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon.
Pfft, not likely. Will do. All 4 of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. With the last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted. Whew. That was tiring. Oh my god, Sam, shut up!
Give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right.
Sweet boy, cute boy to the rescue.
She handled herself the best she could. As expected, princess.
Oh, Eric.
Since you're exhausted, why not head to bed? We can clean up.
Excuse me, but it's not just that, okay? I told you I'm half fangirling over the fact that it's Chris's voice, and the other half is also just not used to being flirted at by characters, okay? And he's got a very flirtatious voice. I'm not used to it.
Make sure it's
So it makes me giggle. It makes me giggle. Okay? It makes me giggle. And also, I'm fangirling over the fact that it's Chris. So yes, it makes me giggle. Shush,
well,
Baron.
I can't hear that. I can't hear that. So okay.
Well, you don't. Shush! Are you guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long.
Oh, I forgot. Malik shows up. I felt a hot shudder run down my spine. The voice from my dreams echoed through the air into my ears. I looked around, panicked, alongside the incubi. James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry. No one will hurt you.
Hang on, I gotta turn up the music just a little bit.
Are you really sure?
Whoever did Malik's voice did a really good job at that too, like, for reals. It freaked me out the first time I heard it. All of us shot our heads towards the doors, finally pinning down the direction of the voice. The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would have never expected to see. Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into mine, roughened up clothes, and a pistol in his hands. I saw a monster. I covered my mouth to not scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man was a similar-looking woman in a matching thug-like clothes.
Oh, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you?
I hoped you would, you piece of...
Sam, don't be stupid. All of a sudden, the man raised his gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger. So when this scene first, I know what's gonna happen next, but oh my god, it freaked me out so bad the first time. We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face. But
What the fuck?
what should have been a headshot ended with a loud but empty blank shot. The pistol echoed its empty shots as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
This place is protected.
What did you say, Shrimp?
This place has a seal, protecting it from hellborn magic.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam. Gun at Sam. Not gum, gun. Oh my gosh, two very different things. Who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in a final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flame that disappeared into the air.
The previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malix.
Malix. That was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from the dream I had. However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malix did. This place is protected by magic?
It would
Malix's face grew to that of extreme anger. His fist tight.
Anger.
Shush! Stop it, Varian. His fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball.
From dragging your asses out and shooting you then!
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malix and the boys. With no power, Malix wasn't going to fight. I took that chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. I'm gonna tell him to fuck off.
Oh.
Malix suddenly laughed wildly, staring at me in disbelief.
Whoa, whoa! Who in the pitch of the birdcage? What is this? The reverse harem or something?
Malix grinned at me evilly, walking close to me. Duck! Run! Ah! I clicked the wrong thing. All of a sudden, I felt a hand grip my hair and pull it back, forcing me to cry out and stare up at Malix. His eyes bored into mine as he cackled into my face.
Hey, let her go!
Sam! Eric!
Within mere seconds, Sam had punched Malix square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair go. As I fumbled back, Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malix and back in their group.
Come on, Sam. You and me. Right here. Let's go!
Come on, asswipe!
However, before both could fight, the woman stepped forward and placed a firm grip on Malix's shoulder.
That's enough, Malix.
All the voice acting in this is so spot on and amazing. I just love it.
What? Who do you think you're speaking to, woman?
The girl who's going to help you kill them. Just not now.
Not now!
I stared as the girl spoke down at Malix. She looked the same, just like pure evil. However, she seemed to be concerned for Malix. Or for me.
There's 5 of them and 2 of us. Even if we come back with the gang, they can have the place surrounded by human police.
We shoot everyone!
Your powers don't work, bro. How is that plan gonna work out for you exactly? You pull out that gun and they go BAM!
Think! If we shoot everyone, we'll be hunted. And it'll be a matter of time before makeshift paladins come and try to exorcise us.
The two growled at each other. If they could have used their magic, I could sense that fire would glow from under their teeth. Malix grunted and glared at the boys. He pointed at James, wanting so badly to use his fingers like a knife.
Just wait, boys. We'll get you and fuck you up real good.
I love it. Then Malix turned to me, moving his finger to point directly between my eyes.
Don't be pussy. Step outside. I dare you.
With that, Malix and the woman walked out of the mansion. Ah! I accidentally clicked again. I felt my knees give out from under me, forcing the boys to quickly turn to catch me.
Whoa, whoa! Are you alright?
I love how he's like all angry boy before, but like as soon as she starts to like look like something's wrong, he's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Yeah. Why was he here?
Our blood trail from the forest must have led her here. Should've stopped and finished it here.
For once, Matthew, I agree with you.
I stood up and rubbed my arms, feeling the goosebumps Malix left behind on me. I couldn't stop myself from shivering in fear of his words. Malix? Was he a demon?
That son of a bitch is not a demon. He's a devil.
A devil? There's a difference?
Yes. Demons come from a different plane of existence called the Invisible Planet.
This is some real ASMR stuff right here.
Despite us not being human, we are very different creatures.
Seriously, Chris should do ASMR videos. Like, he's just got the perfect voice for that. Legit. Just like speaking words, and I'm just like, ugh. Seriously, for reals. Just like every time Eric talks, I'm just like, ah.
We actually have brains, for one. Devils always like to cause trouble and try to kill or torture others for their own enjoyment. Demons, like us, know when to use our powers and when not to. We're not stupid.
Devils follow orders from higher ups in their order, and their power only comes from their connection to head. Demons all have free wills and don't rely on where they came from to use their powers.
This was all so confusing. Demons and devils and magic all existed, and I happened to land in the middle of it. What do we do?
You're safe. You've been protected as well.
What?
What Damien's saying is that the magic that protects this place also protects you.
Your grandfather must have cast it when you last saw him or something of that nature. We can sense its aura around your body.
I couldn't believe my ears. It was the third day of surprises, and this one took the cake in being the most surprising. I felt my head spin once again. What did I get myself into?
Miss, please don't worry. We'll find a way to train ourselves and become stronger to finally finish this feud. Kick his ass right now.
You and me both, Sam.
Until then, we'll protect you as much as we can. If Alex comes back, we have nothing.
Des, my boys. But what about going outside? Won't he?
Like we said, you have a protection spell. Even if Malix attacks, you won't be able to use his magic. You'd be just like any other human you can fight back against.
Didn't you say you knew Taekwondo?
I feel like she was exaggerating that bit. Well, yeah. I felt somewhat relieved that I was mostly safe from Alex. Still, I could not help but feel very nervous and apprehensive about the future. The boys were safe here to train and become stronger. But what if Malix did the same? Even more so, I was lost about how my grandfather knew about magic. I had to find out. At least I had time. I went to bed that night feeling nervous. Despite the words of the incubi, I felt like a target to something I'd never be able to explain or prove. Magic? Devils? Demons? Varen.
Sorry, I just gotta go.
Okay, okay. So say something. You goes to sleep. No, you gotta say something so I know. Okay, well, if you gotta go, you go, okay? I'll talk to you tomorrow or something. Bye! That was fun. I wish people would tell me when they're going to bed. But they don't. Anyways, let's get back to the story. Magic? Devils? Demons? How did this all even happen? Should I really meddle with the situation? They are only staying until after they defeat Malix. That's right. They said they'd only stay until after they defeated Malix. After that, my life could go back to normal. Temporary insanity, as Kay would say. Now, Kay is this, like, chick that I guess she and her friends know. She works at this restaurant. She's, like, really popular and stuff. But since I didn't go out with my friends this time, we, y'all did not see. Baron, I'm gonna murder you. I can't believe you just told him that. I can't believe Baron just told Chris what I said about his voice. Baron just told Chris what I said. Why? Baron, I'm gonna kill you. Not really, but oh my gosh. Baron just told Chris, just tweeted to Chris that I talked about how much I loved his voice, and like basically I said he could do a lot of ASMR stuff with his voice, and like seduce. I was fangirling over his voice, and freaking friggity frack. Baron leaves and then tweets it to Chris. Ugh. You're supposed to be going to bed and you betray me. How dare you do it? He told Senpai on me. He told Senpai. It's okay. It's okay. Chris has to know he sounds awesome. He should know. The question was then, would I want them to leave? If my life went back to normal, then I'd have to care for this house all on my own. I'd get to focus on my life instead of being distracted by the boys. I'd have to. My life. Where was my life going anyway? I was under pressure from my parents with only my friends and the boys to comfort me. Without the boys, I'd have no way to hide from my responsibilities. She gets so deep in this conversation, like legit deep. Enough. Let's just sleep and deal with tomorrow when it comes. Defeating my sense of thought, I forced myself to sleep, unsure of what tomorrow had planned for me. Hopefully, whatever the future had for me, I would be ready for it. I know Eric every single friggin' time. I know. I just know Chris's voice that well. And I'm just like, good golly. Every single time it gets me.
I'll be by your side. Always.
That's Sam.
I can't imagine living without you.
That's Matthew.
I want to be with you.
That's other boy.
I love you.
That's Damien. So I think like one of the first few ones was James. I slowly opened my eyes, letting the voices of my dream echo in my head and force me awake. I rubbed my eyes before sitting up and looking at my clock. 7 a.m. Why am I up so early? I fell back onto the bed and closed my eyes, trying to go back to sleep. However, something kept me awake. Why? It's too early to even be alive. Honey, 7 o'clock is nothing. Try waking up at 5:30 in the morning every single morning. It's called high school. And you have to ride the bus. And it sucks. I gave up and sat up, staring at the fireplace across from my bed. A sigh escaped from between my lips before I threw my legs over the side of the bed. What to do at 7 a.m. in the morning? Let's go make some coffee. Because I hate coffee, but I feel like I might run into one of the boys if I do that. I decided making coffee was my best bet in surviving the rest of the day. Why not? I haven't had coffee in forever. That's because coffee is nasty and you should really drink tea, honey. I got out of bed and made my way to the kitchen, unconcerned that I was in pajama pants and a tank top. I rummaged through the cabinets for a coffee machine and any makings for coffee. Surely my grandfather had some. A French press? Well, it's better than nothing. As I began to make my coffee, I checked my email and texts on my phone. No new important emails. No text messages. I sighed. I quickly made my coffee just how I liked it and sat on the counter. But then, I began to wonder. Would this happen every day? I let the question linger in my mind. For a whole morning, I did not think once about the boys or Malix. Everything was peaceful. Everything was average. Nothing magical or dangerous or unusual. I simply drank my coffee as I let the thought marinate in the back of my mind. I returned to bed, feeling the weight of the morning drag me under my covers to try sleeping again. I had energy, but I wanted more sleep. It was Sunday and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes. Back to sleep. I shut my eyes and tried to slow my breathing. I know this trick and it never seems to work for me. If I get up, I'm up and I can't go back to bed. I looked at my phone to check the time once again. It was noon, yet it felt like I had slept for much longer. Why is time going so slowly? I sighed, got changed into normal clothes, and went out to the main hall and sat on the stairs. Sundays were very boring. However, the muffled sounds of battle caught my attention. Huh? I quickly went out to the backyard in response to the noise I had heard. In the yard were all 5 of the boys practicing fighting. Sam was in the middle with the other 4 surrounding him and throwing punches and kicks at him. Sam, being the strongest of the bunch, blocked and dodged each almost masterfully. I don't want to disturb them, but I think I'm going to this time. All at once the boys looked at me, frozen in their movements. I just stood in the doorway, staring at them after my outburst. James was the first to break away from the group, stepping towards me.
Good morning. We apologize if we woke you up.
No, it's fine. I've been awake for a while now. I'm sorry I interrupted.
It's quite all right. We needed to stop anyway. We don't want to overwork Sam.
Oh, come on. I can handle more than those pity punches.
Oh.
Shut up, Damien.
Hey, shut up, Sam. Don't tell Shy Boy to shut up. Good golly.
We should probably make some lunch. I'm sure you're starving.
I can handle lunch if you'd like. You all seem to be very busy training to beat Malix. I'll take care of it today.
Whoa, seriously?
Yeah, why not? I'm not useless. I know how to cook and do other stuff too.
Well, no, I wasn't insinuating. What he means to say is that we'd be really grateful if you could make lunch today.
No problem. As I turned to the kitchen, the boys went back to training. They seemed very determined to get better and to become stronger. Might as well make lunch today. It's been a while since I cooked. Lunch wasn't particularly hard. I decided to I think I'll make simple chicken and rice. Gotta keep their energy and strength up with protein. I took my time to make almost perfect chicken breasts alongside some rice. Cooking wasn't hard unless you didn't know what you were doing in the first place. Honey, I disagree. Cooking is very hard. Cooking is very, very hard, and I hate it. I hate cooking. Most of the time. There are certain things that it's like, yeah, I'll cook that, but otherwise it's like, no, I don't like it. I placed the food in the dining room. However, none of the boys were there by the time I brought the final dish out. I carried that dish to the main lobby, catching the boys separating into different rooms of the house. Part of me wanted to go to one in particular. The other part of me wanted to just leave them be and take the food in my hand to my room and eat. Maybe I could go out today while the boys focus on training. I really want to find one of the incubi, but last time it didn't matter, so I'll just go to my room. I decided against bothering them. They knew where the food was, so I went to my room instead and ate alone in my room. It's not my problem. I turned on my computer and started to jam to music as I ate my food. As I ate, I began to think about going out. There were so many places to go, things to do. And I think today I'll stay in my room. Last time I didn't. This time I will. I decided to stay in. There was really no need to spend my day anywhere except at home. I'll just entertain myself. The question was, how? study, I feel like Smart Boy would approve of this choice. I held my head, wondering why I made such a decision. However, the sound of my yelling father in my memory played loud enough to justify the decision. I gathered my books, placed them around my bed, and began to study. I didn't necessarily have a method, but I read the pages I needed to read and repeated them in my head, possibly wrote facts down on note cards or in my notebooks. And then there was a chance I quizzed myself, and when there was a chance, I quizzed myself. Whatever I did worked, so I continued not to officially solidify a method. I flipped through my economics book and stopped on a page in slight surprise. On 3/4 of the page was an image of a teenager passing out toys to children in the street. The caption, Harold Anderson, 1940. Teen life before becoming a wealthy businessman. Grandpa. I had known my grandfather's rise in the business like it was a story to memorize. He was just a teen in Chicago who really cared for kids. However, in response to an influx of homeless children, my grandfather started saving money and building toys to comfort them. He even went so far as to sell some of his toys to buy food and blankets for them. He eventually was giving award upon award, earning scholarships to go to Ivy League schools for engineering and design. Instead, though, he went into business and wound up being the top of his class. He graduated with a plan and built Anderson Family Toys practically from the ground up. He knew how to play the game and eventually became a master of the business world. He had become a figure to look up to as well as a business rival to be feared. Wow, this is all stuff that I did not get with my choices the last time. Like, this is crazy. This is like so much backstory. I ran my fingers over the picture, remembering how much older he looked when I last saw him. You were a prodigy. I love the music. I love it. Ah! What did I do? No! No! I skipped over a bunch of story. Are you kidding me? No! I can't believe I just did that! No! I wish I had saved! Oh, I'm so stupid! I'm really upset now. Dang it! I checked the time. 6:30. Perfect! I can eat some breakfast before they come. I packed my bag and carried it downstairs into the kitchen. I quickly made myself coffee and toast, not having time for anything big. I let out a soft sigh in happiness as I sipped my coffee. It felt great, and I felt like nothing could stop me today. Come at me, Day! I'm ready for you! And this is where crap goes wrong. I looked at the time again. Time to go. I quickly rushed to the doors, checking myself in the passing mirror. I wasn't wanting to impress anyone, but I still needed to look decent. And right on cue, Naomi drove up to the gates with Suzu waving me down. I rushed out the door and we headed to school, talking about the homework in the coming day. We made it into the school without a hitch. Our lockers were in the same part of the hall, so we quickly unloaded what we needed to and got our important books and necessities. First incident of the day. As I walked towards Suzu and Naomi, who were both waiting for me on the opposite side of the hall, something hooked my ankle and made me fall forward. Wha? Ow!
Hey, are you okay? Who did that?
The three of us looked back to see Lisette and her gaggle of girls. Lisette had a look of complete innocence, while the girls around her giggled like no tomorrow.
Why, you little... Suzu, don't!
I felt a giant fire of anger burn in my stomach as I stared at Lisette. Today was not the only time this incident had happened to me. However, it was now clear who was behind these incidents. Even if she was innocent and one of her goons did it, it was now obvious that Lisette was the mastermind just from the look on her face. She was no friend, nor would she ever be. I had to do something. You know what? This time I'm gonna get her. I'd had enough. I felt adrenaline rush through my body as I pounced off the ground and rushed at Lisette. I was not going to be the only one with scrapes this time. I tackled Lisette to the— oh my gosh, there's fighting noises too. What the crap? I tackled Lisette to the ground, swiping and slapping her innocent face. She screamed in fright before trying to push me off and block my attacks.
Holy shit! Anderson! Stop it!
I wasn't listening anymore. I let my carnal need to get revenge take over as I began to pull at Lisette's hair to get better aim at her face with my free hand. I'd had enough of the bullying, the wounds, the insults. All of that was going to burn in the past as I scraped my nails in hand across Lisette's face over and over. My rebellion would be marked on her pretty face for all to see. Lisette pushed me off and scrambled to her feet, both panicked and angry at the same time. Her emotion was nowhere close to the anger I was feeling.
Are you crazy? What the hell?
I stood up very slowly, glaring daggers into Lisette's soul, through her eyes. I must have had some sort of monster behind me, or maybe I looked like the monster myself. But the gaggle of girls, Lisette, and even my friends had a look of pure terror on their faces. I have had enough of you, Lisette. You obviously won't stop unless I fight back. Well, guess what? You're gonna get it. Ooh, I am so glad I picked this choice. I love it. Yay! Oh! This is so good. I love it. I charged at Lisette a second time, shoving her hard against the lockers. She let out a yelp of pain as she smacked the back of her head against the metal behind her before glaring and shoving me back. As I stumbled back, Lisette raised her hands, ready to fight.
Then come on, Anderson. Show me what you've got. I bet it's not much.
Oh, yeah, stuff is going down. I love this game. I felt myself snarl in anger before raising my own fists, remembering my taekwondo. I quickly snapped onto one leg and raised a leg to get a swift kick at her head, but she blocked with her arm and stepped towards me to jab at me. She had training. Not surprising. I didn't care at that moment. I bent back away from the incoming jab, reestablishing my balance as I placed both feet on the floor. Lisette threw jab upon jab at me, forcing me to block my torso and my face with my arms and hands. Hit for hit, Lisette and I exchanged and fended blows at each other. It was indeed more than just a catfight. This was a vengeful duel. Ooh, dramatic. In my mind, all I saw was Lisette. All I wanted to do was to make her stop, and if that meant beating her down, then it had to be done. We eventually gained a small crowd of people, all silent but observing the fight. My anger intensified, and my hits became harder with each second that passed between us. I couldn't let her win. I wouldn't let her win. None of Lisette's girls dared to step in, apparently too afraid after seeing our skills and our individual fighting styles. Suzu was held back by Naomi's arm, despite both of them wanting to help me. They didn't wait long for it to end, though. Suddenly, Lisette was pulled away from me, and I was pushed against the lockers by a strong force. Lisette hit the lockers as well on the opposite end of the hallway, letting out a girly grunt of pain. I looked up to see my art teacher, Miss Gordon, holding me against the lockers with a look of surprise and serious concern on her face.
Miss Anderson, what are you doing?
I looked to Lisette, being held back by Miss Phillips, starting to cry innocently. I knew what was going to come out of her mouth, so I tried to push Miss Gordon off to confront her. Miss Gordon, however, kept an arm wrapped around me, keeping me back. No! Don't you dare start crying, Lisette! You started this!
Miss Anderson, get a hold of yourself!
What is wrong with you? What did I ever do to you? I couldn't stop the angry tears running down my face as I shouted across the hallway. Lisette and Mrs. Phillips stared in shock at my screams as Miss Gordon tightened her hold on me. I am so sick of it! Leave me alone. Yes, she's finally getting the what for. Ha ha ha! Eventually, I lost my energy and began to weigh down on Miss Gordon's arms. letting my sadness take over and quench my anger with tears and swelling pain. I could feel Miss Gordon hug me to her to keep me upright as Lisette sniffled and confided with Miss Phillips.
I didn't do anything to her. She just attacked me all of a sudden. That's a lie, Lisette. You tricked her on purpose. You've always been a snobby trick to us. Never! I gave my condolences about her grandfather's death. I try to keep everyone calm. Is that so wrong? You didn't even sound sincere. We know you were only pretending to be nice to spite us.
Enough! Miss White, follow me to the dean's office.
Lisette followed, wiping her eyes in the feigned innocence she knew how to play up. I remained still in Miss Gordon's arms, unable to bring myself to fight to get Lisette again. I had done my damage. The gaggle of Lisette wannabes would make sure I became infamous around the school. I didn't care. I made my statement on Lisette's face and body, and I wasn't afraid to do it again. Miss Gordon, however, wasn't done with me.
Come with me, sweetie.
I nodded and followed. My friends frowned as they watched me leave, but they headed to class without me. Miss Gordon led me to an empty classroom, which she had claimed was hers. It looked like all of the other classrooms, but art posters lined the walls. Many students loved the room, but hated one thing: the mirror in the very back of the room. It was one thing Miss Gordon loved to use against her students. With it, she was able to see who was using their phones and who was actually studying. Miss Gordon led me to the back of the room and sat me down in front of it.
What do you see?
Aw, this is so sweet! That's so nice after that intense moment. Oh, I love her eyes! Huh?
Tell me what you see.
I looked in the mirror and saw myself. My clothes were a little ruffled from the fight, but beyond that, I just saw me. Nothing about me seemed different than normal. I see myself.
All right.
What
What else?
else? I don't understand.
Do you know what I see? I see a brilliant woman who's been working her butt off to try and find herself. She just has a little bit of adversity in her way.
What does this have to do with what happened with Lisette?
Listen, don't think about Lisette right now. She's just another student who doesn't know what you're going through.
I stared at myself in the mirror, unable to tear my eyes away. She was right, but I still lingered on what happened with Lisette. I know Miss Gordon was only trying to help, but I couldn't fight the thoughts in my head. Miss Gordon gently rubbed my shoulders, snapping me from my thoughts. I looked up to see her smile down at me through the mirror. I'm gonna end in a minute. Come here, Naya. Mom's getting ready for bed, and Naya is in trouble for what she did last night. So, Mama's sticking her in my room instead of her usual room. Okay, anyways, back to this. Miss Gordon gently rubbed my shoulders, snapping me from my thoughts. I looked up to see her smile down at me through the mirror.
You know, those were some pretty interesting moves. Taekwondo.
Yeah.
You'll have to show me one day.
I laughed as she hugged me gently.
Look, don't let Lisette get to you, okay? You have your own battles to face, and you can face them just fine. Instead of fighting Lisette, focus on your goals.
I looked up at her and nodded slightly. It was cliché to hear, but she was telling the truth. I needed to focus on myself first. She gave me a small packet of tissues and told me that she would handle Lisette. The fear about my family learning of this that had quickly appeared had vanished when she promised to keep me out of it as much as she could.
Everything will be fine, Naya. You're a good student, so I'll let you off with a severe warning. Just don't get into any more fights, okay?
I like this teacher. She's a good teacher. I nodded before heading to class. Surprisingly, the rest of the school day went off without another incident. I went to my classes, had lunch, and was anxious to get home. Please don't tell me this is going to end the same way, because the last time it ended the way it ended, I ended up not getting one of the boys, and I want the boys. As the bell rang for school to end, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. Huh? A text? From Dad? I'll be picking you up today. Make sure you're ready to go when I get there. That's kind of a surprise. I quickly headed back to my locker and got my things before waiting for Naomi and Suzu.
Hey, are you ready to go?
Actually, my dad's picking me up.
Really? Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. We'll drive home together next time. Tell your dad that we got you covered from now on.
Yeah, all right. Even while I laughed, something didn't seem right. My dad texted me to say this? Why was he going to pick me up? Had I done something wrong? I didn't know. I waved goodbye to Naomi and Suzu before heading off to the usual spot where my dad picks me up. I took the time to listen to my music while I waited. I need to go to another Rise of the Phoenix concert. Eventually, I had played the entire album with no one showing up. What the hey? Dad's never late. Especially not this late. I quickly dialed my dad's number again, but as soon as I pressed call, it disconnected and read a signal disconnection error message. What the? No signal error? How do I not have signal? I double-checked my phone and saw all 5 bars for signal. He must be in a dead zone. Before I could finish, a group of hands grabbed at my hands, feet, and covered my mouth. I screamed into the hand over my mouth, struggling to pull away from the hands grabbing at my limbs. It felt disgusting and scary, feeling their hands on me. I needed it to stop.
Hey! Don't dirty up Malix's prey!
The voice, which sent a fearful shiver down my spine, whispered into my ear.
You're coming with me, Miss Anderson.
I couldn't fathom what was happening, but before I knew it, I was blindfolded and my limbs were quickly tied up. I felt myself being carried somewhere and was shoved into something that echoed the interior of a bus or a van. The doors closed and off I was taken, unsure of where I was going and why. All I knew was that I was in trouble. All I saw was darkness. I felt numb as I was taken to a place I didn't know of. I couldn't even move my lips to scream. Sounds zipped past my ears, first of the interior of a car, then the outside, then an echoey space with whispers and cackles of people vibrating through it. However, the wrap around my eyes was eventually removed from my face and my bonds were cut. It took a while for my eyes to adjust, but I found myself in a warehouse, surrounded by devils, including Malix, who was smirking at me.
Nicely done. I'm sure those shit when they realize you didn't they'll search everywhere.
Malix walked over and set the barrel of his gun against the skin between my eyes.
It'll be so funny. Find your dead body instead.
From what I remember, Malix can't use his powers on me, so I probably won't. You know what? Last time I told him to wait. This time, fight. No way this was happening. No way was I going to let myself be a victim of this. I will. Oh wait, last time I picked that. Nope. I'm going back. I'm going back. Wait. I could see Malix pull the trigger before bracing myself. Ha ha! I opened my eyes again to see Malix jamming his finger against the trigger, trying to shoot me to no avail.
Well, she either has a barrier spell on her, or you're losing your power.
Shut up. I'm not losing shit. This little brat. Spell on her.
felt a wave of relief run through my body. The other devils laughed at Malix, which made him angrier.
Shut up!
Malix suddenly moved his guns towards the nearby devil and pulled the trigger. I stared wide-eyed as the bullet from Malix's gun rammed itself into the neck of the devil. The wound spouted fire and blood, causing the devil to scream and flail in extreme pain before falling limp to the ground. As the body hit the floor, it began to almost deform and melt. Blood and black ash poured out of the wound, and every opening that body had, causing the smell of death to quickly fill the room. I felt like gagging as the body eventually stopped moving. The body became like a deflated balloon, showing me the true nature of Malix's gun. It was now just a pile of blood and skin. The bullet had burnt up the muscles, bones, and any structure the body had to give it its form. That could have been me. That could have been me!
Anyone else wanna laugh at me? Huh?
The devils around us shut their mouths, obeying the warning of the obvious master of the space. Malix growled before glaring at me.
Holy magic or some shit like that.
The girl who had kidnapped me stepped up beside Malix, looking to me.
Start wrapping it up.
I know.
Listen close enough.
I won't. You accidentally turn off all your alarms and miss class once, and your parents suddenly think you can't make it to school ever. The girl who had kidnapped me stepped up beside Malix, looking to me. Malix wrapped a strong arm around her waist and pulled her tight against his side before burying his face against her neck. Eris didn't react, but continued to stare at me as Malix ravaged her shoulder and neck in violent kisses. Eventually, Malix pulled away, licking his lips before looking to Eris's face. Without another word, Eris walked around me out of my line of sight. As I turned my head to try and follow her, Malix raised his gun to my face once again, forcing me to stop moving.
But there are other ways I can beat the living shit out of you.
This is getting darker and darker by the minute. I hope the boys show up to save me. I should have saved. Fight. No way was this happening. No way was I going to let myself be a victim of this. I will.
Are you praying that the boys will come and save you?
Are you serious? Is this the same thing? I closed my eyes and took a breath before snapping up to one leg and sweeping my foot across Malix's face. Ha! Malix flew to his side and rolled, rubbing his cheek in complete shock. I could feel Eris step back away from me, leaving me to look at Malix and shake my foot out from the hit. Malix quickly hopped up and growled at me, obviously surprised but irritated beyond belief.
You little bitch! Think you're tough, huh? I'll show you your place. Come here!
Malix charged at me, dropping the gun that would never hurt me to the floor and reaching for my face. However, I quickly crouched down and swept my leg in front of me, knocking Malix down once again. I rolled back away from the fallen devil and glared as I rose back up to my feet. Just because I'm a human doesn't mean I can't kick your ass! I placed my hands in front of me before sliding over to Malix and slamming the tip of my foot into his head. One of the devils around us tried to step in, but Eris held out her arm, stopping them.
No! Stay out of it! Let Malix deal with it!
I hope this gives me exactly what I want and not what I don't want. As commanded, the devils that surrounded us stood away from the fight. The group watching us was lost in intrigue as I stood up against their leader. I continued to kick at Malix, who tried to block my kicks with his arms. I brought a foot up before slamming it down onto Malix's chest. It definitely heard a rib or two crack at the impact, causing Malix to lose his breath. What I didn't expect was him grabbing my leg and pulling it out from under me. I fell to the ground, landing with a loud thud. Oof! I felt pain shoot up my arms and run through my body at the impact my body had on the ground. I tried to push off, but the pain forced me to stay down. Malix took that chance to roll on top of me and pin me down, glaring and smirking down at me evilly. As I tried to get him off, the futility of the situation dawned on me. I was fighting a devil. I was just a human. I wasn't magical, nor was I special. I wasn't going to beat him.
It's useless, woman. You're as good as dead. Bet you wouldn't try to fight me in the first place now.
Boys, where are you at? Fear began to consume me. Oh, for the love of God, please, someone find me. I prayed. I hoped that I wouldn't have to keep fighting. I was becoming desperate.
You have major balls, Trevor. You're not even a man. You're a puny woman. It's coming to her.
No, my boys are gonna come save me. Right? Right, boys? Michaela! My boys are gonna save me, right? Please? What made everyone in that warehouse drop our fighting faces was the screeching of police sirens coming closer to our location. Malix smirked even wider.
It's time to have fun, boys. Make sure you kill them all.
The devils all seemed to get excited and started to walk past us to meet with the cops, but a loud finger snap stopped them and made them turn around. Malix and I looked to see Eris with her hand in the air, post-snap.
What are you doing?
Enough, Malik. We've wasted enough time in this stupid town. I'm getting out of here, and I'm taking the rest with me.
I didn't know whether to laugh or not. I bit my tongue as Malix got angry again.
Like hell you are. Boys, do as I say, or else.
None of the boys moved. Eris snapped her fingers again, causing the boys to rush back past her and out another way from the warehouse.
Malik, it's over. You can't even beat a human girl. You're losing your powers. Lower devils only follow higher-ups that actually have power.
Shut your mouth.
Malix summoned his gun to his hand and shot multiple times at Eris, who somehow managed to teleport away from the shooting line and reappear by us. She shook her head, letting out a sigh before grabbing Malix by the neck and pulling him off of me. Malix started to choke as Eris stared coldly at him.
All this for a bunch of pretty boys. You must be stupid and desperate.
Eris looked to me, making me tense up.
Human, I suggest heading home to your pretty boys. You don't want to get involved in a supernatural investigation. It's a pain in the ass.
She then turned back to Malix, glaring daggers into him as he glared back at her.
You really think women are weak? Let me fix that, sweetie.
And with that, Eris vanished into the shadows, taking Malix with her. As I was left alone, the police sirens stopped. I looked over to the open passage to see the incubi with a large police siren megaphone staring at me in surprise.
Where is he? Swear I'm gonna.
He's gone. Eris took him and left. They won't be coming back. It was all so surreal. I was helped by a devil. But I quickly shook off the feeling. I was alive, and that was all that mattered. I fought to stay alive, and there I was. The boys tried to question me, but James cleared his throat, catching the attention of his brothers and me.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
Did I do this wrong? I swear to gosh, if I did this wrong again and I don't get my boys. Altogether, we walked out of the warehouse back home. There was no way in hell anyone was going to find out about this. It was over. Malix was gone, and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body at the thought of never having to deal with that group again. At the same time, a pang of realization hit the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As we approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down in my heart. It was late, but the boys led me inside and turned on the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our necks.
Did I mess up? I messed up!
Just tired. And I have to hang early.
I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
I looked at Damien, knowing he can read my mind, and frowned. I didn't want him to know about my thoughts on the situation. Yeah, that sounds good. I just wanted to end tonight. Too much had happened and I felt dizzy just trying to figure it out. However, Damien spoke up, stopping all of us from moving. I swear to God.
Should we be gone in a hurry?
No! The air became still with tension. The realization of blah blah. That's it. I'm remaking my choices. I'm redoing it. I'm redoing it. Yes. I'm gonna wait. Wait. I didn't say a single word. I knew how to defend myself against anything he had to offer. I was slowly losing my fear of him, and it was oddly satisfying. All of a sudden, however, I felt air escape me and rush behind me, sucked away from me by a mysterious force. It was like a large vacuum was pulling my soul out from my back. What was even worse was that I felt stuck in place as this was happening. I turned my head to barely see Eris holding a red orb that was absorbing a white stream of air and possibly magic from my body. Eris kept her eyes to my back, but Malix grabbed my face and made me look back at him, smirking.
That barrier around you won't be protecting you much longer. Be patient, little human.
I want my boys. Give me my boys. Before Malix pulled away, he slapped his hand against my cheek a couple of times. Not enough to force my head to turn, but enough to hurt to leave a powerful sting. I wanted to do something. I needed to. I was going to die if that barrier was removed. Oh my god, I don't want to fight! You know what? No, I'm gonna wait. I stood there. That's all I could do. I waited for someone to save me. I waited for someone to stop Malix and Eric's. Waiting was all I could do. Waiting was all I convinced myself I could do. Eventually, I felt lighter and the air stopped moving around me. Eris had finished her job. I didn't feel so protected anymore. I felt fear consume me as Malix's smirk grew horrifyingly wide. No, please, boys, come on! Malix quickly placed the barrel of his gun between my eyes once again and pulled the trigger. I didn't even get a chance to close my eyes. Michaela! What do I have to do to get the boys? I'm not dying. No, I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. What if I fight now and then wait? Mumph.
You little bitch!
Da 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 da.
It's time to have fun, boy.
Human, you really think?
What do I have to do to get one of the boys? I am halfway to looking up a Let's Play. That's it. I'm doing it. I'm looking it up. I'm Googling it. Michaela, forgive me. I don't care. I'm Googling it. I'm using the microphone. what choices do I need to make to get James in Seduce Me, the Otome? Okay, let's see. Damn it, I did screw up. I completely screwed up. Alright. You know what? New game. Skip. Let's go with Kyla again. I am skipping all of this. Skip. 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 I am skipping everything until I get to where I need to go. I no longer care. I just want the things that are important to me, okay?
Of course you have. Hey! It's not me.
Skipping, 'cause I am mad. Leaving it alone, 'cause I don't care. As much as I love you boys, I'm gonna hit him. You deserved it. I'm gonna skip until I get to the point where I messed up. Okay? I'm skipping until I get to the point where I messed up.
What? I appreciate.
Okay. Alright, sure. And skipping. Smack him. Skipping. I refuse to go through this again until I can get what I want. But I did. Skip. I love these voice actors and I love all the work they put into this, but I am too angry about what happened. And they're my brothers.
Your brothers? Since when did you have brothers?
Blop. Skip. Staying.
Are you sure?
Skip. James. Skip. Ask. Skip.
Do you have college plans? Do you think the company should Honey,
Since when does a little stain like you give orders to a guy who can make you a pretty little head for your body?
Mm. Oh, I should have told him to fuck off, whatever. You really don't think, do you? If you kill me, you'd be hunted down by more than just the police.
You little...
Duck! I ducked underneath Malix's incoming hand. I stared at his hand and his black flame tattoo in surprise as I took a couple steps back from Malix. Matthew and Damien stepped in front of me, guarding me from Malix with their arms. I am making the choices right.
A quick one. I'm liking you more and more.
Well, I'm hating you more and more. You killed me last time, so...
Back off, Malix!
Don't start acting tough with the excuse of a demon. You need more protection than her.
Shut up!
Did I make little Matthew cry?
I really want to punch Malix in the face now.
Throw a pair.
enough, Malix.
Since when...
We do you. Let
I'm going to... Is it... I'm going to explore the house. Well, come on, feet. Let's go on an adventure. I stood and exited my room, hoping that the boys were still asleep. I began to wander the halls at my end of the house, opening each door to find which room each door led to. Quickly, I found an old office. A desk and chair sat by the far side as a large bookshelf of documents and memorabilia donned its nooks and crannies. There were a couple of pictures of me growing up peeking from the shelf as I walked further into the room. I don't believe I've been in here before. I tried to recall memories of ever seeing this room, coming up with nothing as a result. This room was new to me. Did I want to disturb the furniture? I'm curious. I'm not gonna try. Whatever was in here belonged to my grandfather. It wasn't my place to try and pry. I closed the laptop and put it back in the drawer where it came from. Strangely, I felt a wave of relaxation wipe over me, making me sigh. Whatever happened was apparently good. I returned to bed, feeling the weight of the morning drag me under my covers to try sleeping again. I had energy, but I wanted more sleep. It was Sunday and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes. Back to sleep. The SWAT team as well could be after... What? I'm confuzzled. I tried to shut my eyes and slow my breathing. I looked at my phone to check the time once again. It was noon, yet it felt like I had slept for much longer. Why is time going so slowly? It always does in the mornings. I sighed, got changed into normal clothes, and went out to the main hall and sat on the stairs. Sundays were very boring. However, the muffled sounds of battle caught my attention. Huh? I quickly went out to the backyard in response to the noise I had heard. And I'm not going to disturb him this time. Might as well make it lunch today. It's been a while since I cooked. Lunch wasn't particularly simple chicken and rice. Gotta keep their energy and strength up with protein. Blah. I placed blah, blah. I'm gonna go find one of them because apparently that's what I needed to do because apparently the first time the reason I didn't find any of them was because I didn't have the strongest with each of them. I was trying to get all of them, and what I did was because I tried to get all of them, I got none of them. So yeah. I quickly rushed back and grabbed a second food dish before hunting down one of the boys. I found James in the library, sitting on one of the comfy leather seats, reading a book. As I stepped in, James looked up at me before closing his book and standing.
Hello.
Yay! This is what I wanted! Hey, James. I got some lunch for you.
That is very kind of you. Thank you.
James took his food and sat back down, placing the book he was reading on the table in front of him and setting the dish on his lap.
I'm sorry. I should have asked you first before exploring the house and finding this room.
Huh? Oh, no, you're fine. Remember, you live here too, so any room besides mine is free to be in.
Still, you're the master of the house. I should have asked.
It's fine, really. Don't tell Michaela I had to look up a walkthrough to find this, okay? James nodded at me with an understanding smile before eating his food. I followed along and ate with him, taking the open chair beside us. We ate in silence, listening to the ambience in the room. Soon, however, I began to feel a little restless. I'm gonna check out the book. I put my food down on the table and lifted the book to examine it. Love and Romance, a study of intimacy. James let out a small, nervous cough before he stopped eating and placed his food on the table.
Demons and humans are very different when it comes to affairs of the heart. I merely wanted to try learning a little more when I had the chance. I found that while I was
After
working
this,
on the room that had only just begun.
I gotta stop, so I am gonna save over the one that I messed up on. I hate to do this, but unfortunately, my mother wants me to go to bed, so I have no choice. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I had a really good time streaming for you. Yeah, I messed up. Don't tell Mickey I got frustrated and looked up the stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you again next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.